Welcome back to Perkins Pipes. I want to talk about a kind of a modern classic film with you, and for that, decided to bring out the classic Savinelli, Bing's favorite, the smooth version. I definitely preferred this to the rusticated look, so this is the one that I got. Certainly will enjoy smoking this guy. What modern classic film am I talking about? Let's get this guy lit. Let's get to talking. Talking about the film from the mid 80s called No Way Out, starring Kevin Costner, Gene Hackman, two main actors in this. Sean Young played the woman, the love interest there. Interestingly enough, the love interest for both characters. It was one of those tense thriller kind of movies. Absolutely love it. My wife and I loved it over the years, and I gotta say, my memory is really playing tricks on me. I really thought we owned it. And I was just searching through our DVDs and all that jazz, and boy, I couldn't find it. I've got a document list of our films, and went to look at that, and sure enough, it's not on there. I think we owned it once on VHS, so that's what I'm thinking of. Strikes me as that's one I need to repurchase on DVD. So first of all, a quick question for you right here early in the video. Do you remember No Way Out? Did you see it? Did you like it? What do you remember about it? If not, it tells a story of this naval officer, Tom Farrell, played by Kevin Costner, who goes to work for the Secretary of Defense, played by Gene Hackman. And there's a lot of political intrigue. There's stuff going on about building a phantom sub, right? Think about like the stealth bombers, and there's stuff going on there, and congressmen who want it and those who don't, and so forth. But the overriding thing is that there is a spy in the U.S. government. And the theory is this guy had been sent to the United States as a young man from Russia. And he had grown up in the United States and had worked his way into the government somehow. He's a mole, right? He's a spy. Who is this guy? Along the way, there's this intrigue with this character played by Sean Young. As I recall, she's from Louisville, Kentucky, and I always thought that was kind of neat at the time because I'm from New Albany, Indiana, which is right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. So any Louisville connections kind of cool there. She's the mistress of Gene Hackman's character. She ends up falling in love, though, with Kevin Costner's character. Now, they're truly in love. Hackman finds out about it, gets angry, ends up killing her, and then lo and behold, given Costner's role, like I say, he's been brought to work at the Pentagon. He is the one who is tasked by Hackman's aide to conduct an investigation that covers up the truth. So here is Costner, who's genuinely in love with this woman, who's dead now, knows that his boss has killed her and has been directed to conduct the investigation, but in such a way that it hides the truth that his boss is guilty. And along the way, again, there's a search for this. They nicknamed him Yuri, this mole who has grown up in the United States, is now part of the government. Intrigue, right? Plot twists all through the whole thing. Now, if you like that kind of thing, maybe you've seen this movie. If you like this kind of thing and you haven't, go out and check it out. Highly recommend. I like the twists. I like the, you think it's going one way, then it goes another aspect of this. There's definitely a surprise ending. I'm not going to share that with you because if you haven't seen it, or if you've seen it a long time and you forgot, and I'm not going to share it, I'm not going to ruin that for you. What I remember about seeing, and I saw it at the theater when it came out, I remember being struck by a scene in particular. A lot of scenes that are great. And by the way, for my money, Hackman, one of the finest actors, as of the recording of this video, he has passed away not too long ago as of the recording of this video. Well, I always want to see anything with Gene Hackman in it. For the most part, really like Kevin Costner as well. Enjoy his stuff very, very much. So the two of them together. And this is Costner early on in his career. So you see it really acting. The scene I'm thinking about, though, the FBI is involved, and it was the CIA. No, it's the CIA because this being international intrigue and possibly this Russian spies, the CIA is involved. But they know that somehow or another, maybe the Secretary of Defense is involved in all this. So again, a lot of cross-department stuff. Okay. Once this woman gets killed, this starts to alert suspicions and so forth. And there's a scene where the head of the FBI, who's played by Fred Dalton Thompson. Now, as I recall, Fred Dalton Thompson was at one time either a senator or representative from the state of Tennessee. Actor, been in a lot of stuff. One of my favorite roles of his was as the head of NASCAR in the movie Days of Thunder. Anyhow, he plays the head of the CIA. And one of his guys is trying to figure out what's going on. I think it's before the woman's been killed. And they know that there's this woman involved, and at one point, the CIA guy thinks that the woman may be involved, follow me here, with Hackman's assistant. The guy's last name is Pritchard. They've been following him around. They notice that he's with her a lot. And what it is that Pritchard will go pick up the woman, bring her to parties where Hackman is with his wife, right, just so he can see his mistress at the party. But because the assistants picked her up, they've kind of connected her with the assistant. And Fred Dalton Thompson's character, head of the CIA, he says, you got some good information here. He says, but she can't be seeing Pritchard. He's gay. And his agent says, I'll be damned. And without missing a beat, Fred Dalton Thompson's character says, well, so will he if you believe the Old Testament. Now, I suppose it was put in there as a bit of comic relief, maybe. I mean, it's not really a comedic scene. Certainly, nobody's laughing, but man, it's a little lighthearted in this taut political thriller. But I remember thinking, even when this came out, ooh, that's a bold thing to say in just a regular secular movie. I mean, it's certainly not a Christian movie. Not that a movie can be Christian, but you know what I mean. It doesn't have an overt Christian theme to it. Well, the guy just says, well, it can't be that guy, he's gay. I'll be damned. So will he if you believe the Old Testament. Now, this is not an episode. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear here. We're not getting off on that discussion. Okay, we're not going to get off on the discussion about the morality or the immorality, the sinfulness of homosexuality, and we're not going there. We're not going there. What I want to talk about is a time, maybe, when you could have a biblical, it's not even a biblical reference, it's not like he's quoting chapter and verse or something like that, but when you could have a character, on this guy's job, he's the head of the CIA, bring a biblical reference into the workplace. Now, this character is not trying to proselytize. He's not trying to evangelize or anything else as agent. He simply makes a comment. In fact, you don't even know whether the director of the CIA believes this. He simply says that this homosexual character would be condemned if you believe the Old Testament. So again, he's not pushing his belief on anybody. He simply makes the comment. Now, like I say, this movie came out in the mid-'80s, and again, oh, forgive me. What in the world? I didn't check it out. I should have checked it out ahead of time. Let's see here. No Way Out. 1987. It's the late 80s. We're not even talking, Puritan, founding of America. No. It's the 80s. But a line like that can be used. Somebody could say something like that simply as a matter of course. Just as a matter of course, a matter of everyday conversation, part of the culture, right? Now, as a Christian, somebody watching this, I liked the biblical reference there. Obviously, I'm not happy with the idea that anybody would be damned, okay? I mean, I don't wish damnation upon anybody. But I did like the reference in the movie. What do you think about stuff like that? What do you think about casual, subtle, small references to the Bible or to the Christian faith in how to put it, just everyday life. Everyday life. Everyday television shows, everyday movies. See it referenced in a book. You know, sometimes we'll talk on here about pipe stuff, right? We all like, those who enjoy pipes. We get all excited when we see somebody smoking a pipe in a movie. Ooh, ah, right? I think that's kind of cool. See an advertisement for something. For those of you who are watching this, who are Christians, what do you think about biblical references or Christian references just in casual stuff? Gotta be honest, I kind of like it. Now, back to the movie. If you know the movie, really want to know what you think about it. If you don't know it, go out and watch it, then come back here and leave me some comments. Tell me what you think about it. What do you think about those kinds of movies in general? Taut thrillers. Where the action is more intrigue than it is necessarily blow them up kind of stuff. What do you think about that? Folks, as Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing. Or as I like to say in Latin, Parva tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.